Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor and I help people navigate through their spiritual awakening or their ascension process. And this video is going to share with you 5 signs to let you know if you are tapped in to divine timing. I made a video about this because divine timing can seem like a massive disruption into your previous mode of operation, your mode of timing and planning things. It can seem like incredibly chaotic. But that's only because a lot of times in the beginning, we insist on applying old ways of thinking and navigating our life to this new energy we now live in that is affecting us, sort of forcing upon us divinity, divine underlying timing. So these signs will help you understand if that's what's happening. That's what's attempting to happen from the universe, from yourself, this self-imposed divine timing, which allows you to get from A to B, to achieve things much faster and with more grace and more harmony and more flow and in perfect consideration of the whole. Number 1 is you're experiencing positive synchronicity. You see 1111, 1, 2, 3, 4, any other strange numeric combinations that are somewhat rare to see, you'll see them all the time. And a lot of times you'll see them in connection with when you're going forth into some sort of new endeavor, a new direction. You have an idea of something and you're questioning it, and then you see 1111, 1111, etc. That's right there. You're tapped in right there. You can stop the video now if you'd like. You're already tapped in. Not everyone just sees these freakish amounts and freakish frequency of these specific numeric sequences. So that's a good sign right there. Number 2 is your plans keep falling through. A lot of times we have these ideas, we make these plans to carry out our ideas, and they seem so sound and so brilliant, and they feel good. And then as we go to apply them, it just doesn't work out. All these unforeseen variables just keep falling into our lap, and no matter what kind of plans or ideas or future projections we can create, they never seem to come to fruition. That's because that's the old way of doing things. It is not a horrible way. It seems to make sense, for at least to me. If I want to become a lawyer, and I'm in 12th grade, or say I'm in 9th grade in high school, I'm going to study my ass off and get really good grades and apply to a lot of good colleges, and hopefully I'll get into one of them, and I'll sync up with a good group of friends, and we'll study and we'll get through it, and I'll study for the bar exam, and then maybe make some connections and get a good job, get a good lawyer job. That all makes sense. Well, guess what? You might not be destined to be a lawyer. You might be destined to be a doctor, and you create these rigid plans, and we tend to get fixed in a direction we want to go and ignore the new data. These disruptions to our plans are oftentimes information saying, are you sure you want this? Are you sure you want this? Is this really what you want now? I know you wanted it like an hour ago or 6 months ago, but is this what you want now? Are you going to ignore the data because it's inconvenient to make a new decision and deviate from your fixed plan? Divine timing, trying to say, listen man, you're growing quickly. You're going to be changing your mind at the drop of a dime, and it's better to be flexible and flow with your timing rather than map out these long-term plans that are always subject to interruptions from us, from you. Number 3 is golden, awesome opportunities seem to sometimes, not always, but I'm sure you've experienced this, fall into your lap at the most perfect divine timing. I remember an example that came to mind when I was writing down these 5 things is a while ago I opened up a personal training gym. And I just had this faith. It was an inspired idea. I opened it. I leased a space. I filled it with equipment, made it nice, had a little website. But the whole notion of if you build it, they will come. No one came. No one. I had one client, and that was a friend of mine, someone I worked with in the past. And I was feeling really down on myself. I had these big payments. I bought a bunch of equipment. I was already plummeting into debt pretty quickly, and just took this leap of faith as a way of saving myself. And then lo and behold, I don't remember how it happened. My wife was she picked me up from the gym. There was no clients that day. I only had the one, as I mentioned. And we were driving out, and my neighbor, 3 units down, sort of like flagged me. He was like, hey man, what's going on? He's like, you guys have a gym there? I'm like, yeah. Sure enough, he wanted to try it out the next day, and he came and he brought his brother and his friend, and they became like my highest end. They paid like $1,000 a month to train at this gym. They wanted to train me personally, and that one client like saved me. It really like kept me afloat. It reinvigorated my faith and everything. It just happened so effortlessly, so easily. It's going to happen in many ways. You just go and you feel guided to do something and you do it, and then you just happen to talk to the right person who has some sort of off the wall again opportunity for you, and you just think like, wow, how lucky was that? How lucky was I to have met my buddy Andrew and his brother and friend, and how lucky were you to have such and such? Well, when you're in divine timing, those sort of things happen a lot. That'll happen to you more and more and more and more, to where you will feel confident eventually stepping off the cliff, knowing that divine timing is going to come into play, and some sort of like things just going to kind of swoop you up. Oh, there you are. Let's take you down here, safely below. That's how it works. And a lot of times in the beginning, we'll get glimpses of this to sort of help us let go more into the flow of the divine timing. And then it can seem to go away for a little while as well, where you got to work through all your issues. But if you've had that happen to you, and it's been happening maybe in the past 5 years, more than you would expect would be normal for people, it's been happening more to you, that's a fantastic sign. Number 4 is you sometimes feel guided, feel inspired, intuitively guided, I can't think of another word, to do things, to take action, without knowing why. You don't know the why. It just feels right. There's a gut instinct coming into play, and you just, for some reason, really feel that you should be doing this. You're going to do it. We're going to do it. Now, why? I don't know. I'm going to do it. That's divine timing. Divine timing works alongside with our intuition. It sort of bypasses the mind's need to plan and map out everything and just goes straight and cut to the chase. When you need to go left, you'll feel guided and inspired, and it'll just feel right and natural and appropriate to go left, and you go left. You don't have to question it. Why would I go left? What about straight? What about to the right? What about backing up? What about pausing and waiting a second? I need to map out all these different options. That takes a long. That's fine. It takes a long time. Divine timing is fast and it's efficient, and it gives you the surges of inspiration when you actually need it, not before to satisfy the worrisome mind, but right in that exact moment. You'll start feeling, I lost my train of thought for a second. You'll start feeling that gut intuition more and more and more. And it won't leave you alone. A lot of times it's going to conflict with your mind's ideas of how things should be done and conducted. But that feeling is going to just get so strong, it's going to become miserable to ignore it. And don't ignore it, because that's connected with this whole divine timing thing. And things will flow very nice and naturally and synchronistically for you when you just start to act from that gut instinct that you're already getting now if you're still watching this video. For a while, you might experience speed in your life combined with a lot of stress. That stress is the resistance to this divine timing, this divine flow, this synchronous way of going through life. It takes a while for our minds to get on board and to be able to actually trust it. It's one thing to say, I'm going to start trusting divine timing. That's nice, but when you're faced with a decision or a desire to do something that conflicts with your logic, that's another story. That's not easy. And we can't expect it to be easy. Our mind really does need to be retrained, rewired to understand its role. And its role is not to control everything. The desire to do so is why we're all so freaking nutty. It's to relax and simply deal with what's in the present moment. It doesn't really have to plan all that much of anything when you're connected to the divine timing. But in the beginning, again, you'll find yourself, whether you stress about it or resist or not, you've probably already been doing this, taking these leaps of faith. At least some of you, sometimes, and experiencing all the stress about it. Oh my God, what have I done? And then you finally you are shown why that was wise, and you think, oh wow, thank goodness, I'm going to start trusting my divine timing more. So again, you had that speed of manifestation, rate of change increases, but there's a lot of stress involved because you're just not used to it. I'm still getting used to it. But I can say over the course of my journey, I'm much more willing to jump off that cliff because I know I held on to I sort of pushed away the divine timing when it got really stressful for me. And it got to where my intuitive impulses were getting so far out there that I couldn't possibly listen to them in the face of what seemed like such sound reasoning and logic. But again, it doesn't leave you alone. Those intuitive feelings will just grow and 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 to where you just gotta let go. You just gotta do it. So that's how it was for me. I'd resist a while, then eventually I'd just do it. I'd stress out, I'd get to where I wanted, I'd get to an awesome place, and I'd look back and I'd say, wow, that was awesome. But I had to do that a lot of times, not just once or twice or 15 times, probably hundreds of times, hundreds of a combination of big and small decisions that eventually have finally just allowed me to relax and to trust. And the more you relax and trust, fortunately, the more flow and synchronicity you'll get sort of to confirm and validate that decision. And that's just how it goes. So if you relate to any of what I just said, because people who are not experiencing this divine timing, I don't see how they would have watched this whole video. It would sound like a bunch of mumbo jumbo. But if you're still watching and you understand with what I'm saying, that means your life is attempting to unfold in a divine, synchronous, harmonious sort of way. And the more you can just boldly, blindly follow that gut intuition, the faster you will be able to rewire your conscious physical mind and harmonize the two. And then you'll be like a wizard awake in the game of life, and you'll be able to get where you want to go a lot faster, a lot more smoothly, and with a lot less resistance. So hope that helps, guys. I will talk to you next time. Have an amazing day, and thank you for all the love, the support, the likes, the comments, the shares, all the emails and the messages and the Facebook comments and whatnot. You guys are very supportive of me, and I do appreciate it very much. So I really just can't thank you enough. Sorry, I got a phone call on my phone and I was interrupted, so I had to cut at the last second here. But just saying thank you, goodbye, see you tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Namaste.